And he said, "What the fuck?" And I said, "What?" I said,
we start the afternoon with Matt Howe going, "What the fuck?" There goes the monetization that I'm not bothered about anyway. Welcome to Sunday Koi Chat, guys and girls, with Twisted One and guests. We've got guests from all around the world at the moment. We got UK, we got India, we got back to the UK, then over to Western Australia to Jens with Mustang Koi, and then finally end up in Utah, America, with our Ty from the Koi Pit. And Ty, you've got to get me across one of them koi men. I want to get up some. I want to get up some mischief.
We'll be getting you one eventually. Did you catch Stubbs' video?
I did.
Stubbs Aquatics?
I did. Absolutely awesome, mate. And guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, Chris Stubbs, he's in the comments over in Canada. Him and Ty have done a little video with Koi Man and his adventures. Absolutely hilarious. Go and check it out, guys. But we will start off with the biggest one in the room, and that is our Matt from Howie Koi. How are you feeling, Matt, after a fantastic trip in Japan?
Shell-shocked is probably the word. Shell-shocked, tired, exhausted, gobsmacked, delighted, flabbergasted, you name it. Literally, it was an awesome week. Just, the company that I had, what we got to see, it was just, it was my dream, and hopefully will be a lot of other people's dreams to eventually get over that at some point or another.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Yeah. Afternoon. How are we doing, Raphael? Raphael from Crazy for Koi and Goldfish, everyone. So, Matt,
how are you?
What was your biggest highlight of the whole trip?
There was so many, but I knew you were going to ask me that question this morning, and I was thinking about it. There were just literally so many bits from different places. If you talk about one certain area, you can go to that farm and you could see it. If you talk about, like, for me, one of the farms, seeing the cutting process, where they cut obviously the koi, and I know it's not a light subject, but on some of the fish, it was, how would you explain it? When you're bowling up a fish and one of the koi flicks the scale, and all of us, you don't take any notice of it. That's just, it's a scale flip and that's it.
Yeah.
In some of the cases, that's all it was. And it turned still a beautiful fish into an even more beautiful fish by just flipping the scales, especially on obviously the kahakus, taking away 2 or 3 scales that were just almost like that.
Yeah.
Just changed the fish totally. Then going off to different farms as well, the filtration, and we put a couple clips on there, was so basic, but it was the water flow. We kept doing it. Myself and Rick was looking at the filters and discussing the water flow. Some of them probably had 150, 200,000 litres of water going through the filtration system. You had the big one that was on there, but they discussed Baki shower. The water flow through that was just unbelievable. I say a Baki shower wasn't. It was all foam inside, but it was coming over the weir.
Yeah.
It was just awesome. And the condition of the water, you go from one farm to the other, and some of the places you went to, the fish only had to go down a couple of inches and you couldn't see them. It was that dirty water. And everything was different in different farms as well, what they would allow you to do and how their process was, whether you could actually handpick your fish or whether you had to take a scoop of them in all the places, because we only wanted to buy handpicked koi. I didn't want any, because of our limited room here, we didn't want any of the low grades or standard grades. We wanted all handpicked high quality fish. And of course, with Ricky being with me, Ryan being with me as well, all looking over the same bowl, it was amazing how you know, I could miss a bit, or Ricky could miss a bit, or Ryan could miss a bit, but you would hold the fish because, say, Ryan had picked out there was an issue with it,
Yeah.
and myself and Rick hadn't seen it, or vice versa. You know, it was amazing, but it was good having definitely the 3 sets of eyes looking over the fish. And some of the koi that we purchased are just outstanding. I've been trying to go through some of the videos now, looking at what we did actually buy, because you feel so shell shocked because you had limited time. You know, even when we got to about Wednesday, it felt as if we'd only actually been there a day because everything was just so full on.
Intense.
Yeah, it was real intense. And the speed that you sort of not expected, but you felt like you had to pick these fish in a quick time system. So like a couple of the farms, they would have these massive big nets and literally feed and scoop up probably 1,000 to 2,000 fish. And through those 2,000 fish, you were filling up a box or 2 boxes of them. So at the max, it was sort of 100 fish that you were expected to choose out of that lot. And it was full on, you know, but it was good.
So
And
was it easy to miss fish then?
yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah. You know, we got a system going in the end, which was quite good because Ryan, obviously doing so much of it, he would almost sort of pick the fish that were to a certain level, put them all into the bowl, and then myself and Rick or me on my own or on some of the ranges or varieties that Rick was good on, we would sit there and just pick out, you know, the special ones from them. And I was delighted in the end because I'd already had a customer that said what they wanted to do, which was have 3 or 4 fish to take over to the BKKS this year to compete to compete against you, Vince.
Oh, what? No, you're joking. He's got a board Deutsch fish.
And
Bonkers.
that was the word. It was, yeah, definitely bonkers. But we managed to find them on the last day and the last farm. And but
Mate,
yeah,
you were supposed to be finding me something for the national, not everyone else to compete against me.
I mean, you can come down and see them. Like some of the fish we got, some of the kujakus were just unreal. I got my hand slapped a few times because I seem to have a passion for them at the moment, and I was picking way too many of them.
It also doesn't help that kujaku is one of Rick's favourite fish.
Yeah.
So,
and the Goski, we had 2 or 3 of the farms. We picked a good proportion of them. And of course, that's one of Ricky's favourites as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Goshki you brought back. So when are they? First things first, get this out of the way. When are they arriving back in the UK?
Come back in on the 27th.
I'll be doing a rival video.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah. I like the eyebrows. Yeah, if you want to come on down for that one, you can do, definitely.
Yeah, fuck
but
yeah.
That was another bit that it didn't surprise me because I knew that it happened, but the customers I had with me, they couldn't believe that when we picked the fish, they were put into a separate net cage, and that's it. That's where they're going to stay now until the 27th. And they were like, what? My fish is going to stay in that cage now for almost 2 weeks.
Yep. I did notice on a couple of the videos that both you and the Lesser Spotted one both commented on the baskets floating in the ponds full of fish.
Yeah.
Was that something that shocked you when you saw it?
No, because it's the only process. Obviously, they've got to starve them out now to obviously be able to transport them over that period of time.
Yeah.
So they can't get any food unless they set up separate tanks for them, which obviously, as you can imagine, just a pain. And how do they keep track? It would be one tank. So I've gone into one of the farms and chosen 2 boxes worth. It's the only way that they can do it, because otherwise, there must have been 30 to 40 different cages in there, that all had fish for orders going out already. And they're all just dumped all together in the same pond. But it did certainly surprise my customers because they couldn't believe it. Like the Tancho shower that you've seen.
Oh, mate, what a fish!
What a fish, yeah. But the same treatment happened to that fish. You know, put into a cage, dropped into one of the tanks, and that's where it was staying now for the next 2 weeks.
Till it's boxed up.
What
and-
size? What size were these fish? Man.
But that one, the Tancho shower was 75, I think it was.
Wow.
75 and
Wow.
it was in a floating net, in a floating
Yeah.
cage net.
Yeah. Yeah. it's
Okay,
mad.
I've seen them cage net. Like, I mean, as far as I've seen, the guys that I've worked with, they've cage net like 40, 50 cm koi, but not like 60, 70 cm koi,
Yeah. No, there was a lot
from
of
what
them.
I've seen.
And we got another farm. We got the Kwashigoi and Matsuba as well, and exactly the same happened to them.
So, what size was that Karashigoi?
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was just under 70 cm.
Is that going to Rick?
No, that's coming here. No, Rick-
Surprise!
No,
I am
Rick only-
surprised 'cause
yeah, with
they
Rick
lost.
he bought a lot more fishing than what he was going to, but the majority of them were Tosai going
Right.
on and then picking for the breed stock later on next year, I guess.
Well, that was why I thought that Rick had bagged the Karashigoi, because we did lose the big one out of Sean's Pond to the tail end of last year, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right.
So that was why I thought that one. And looking at the filtration that was going around, it was swings and roundabouts on what they had, really, wasn't it? I mean, did I see correctly? And in Odacan's facility, not only was it surgically clean, but was he running bead filters?
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Odacan was by far the best farm that we went to. The fish were extremely good, extremely expensive. But again, what was interesting is like with Odacan, we went in there and the only things that we could actually see were the big fish. They had no Tosai available, no Tosai to sell. But then in 2 days' time, it will totally change again. You know, you can walk in Odacan and he will have a selection of Tosai that you can go through. And I know from my visit from Crafties, it was the week before, we had farms that he couldn't buy from, and we could. And no doubt it would be the next person on again. It was always a changing
wasn't that the
process.
case with the Goshki?
Sorry?
Wasn't that the case with the Goshki, that it was lucky that you were there at that point in time?
Sorry, mate. I couldn't hear you then. I had something going on in the background.
When you got the chance to go through the Goshki, wasn't that a case of that? It was a case of right place, right time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. And you can see it with the farmers as well, that you've got to capture them in the right mood. 100%. You know, some of them you go into and they would be as nice by cheerful as anything, and then other ones would almost shrug you off. But they hadn't even met us, so it wasn't the case of, you know, your face didn't fit or anything like that. It was just the pressure that they were under, and they were under pressure, as you can imagine, with the amount of snow over there at the moment. It's not ideal.
Crazy.
Yeah, and the snow was crazy. It was just absolutely ridiculous. You know, 1 minute you were driving along and there would be nothing on the roads. Half an hour later, you had 2 to 3 inches of snow on it. But the car that we had was a Subaru 4-wheel drive, and it would go anywhere.
Shotgun Wickham. Sorry.
Say again, mate.
So sorry, Wickham come up and said, I'm infested with herons at the farm. I said, shotgun. He's in America. They're not protected over there, are they?
No.
But you were actually doing the driving, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I got collared into doing all the driving, but yeah. And even that, we were following Ryan, and I'd already said to him that we were down to a quarter of a tank. And he said, that'd be fine. Just come on, let's go. So off we went. And we got up to probably about halfway, can't remember where we were going now, but halfway to the location. and I was flashing red then and had to get some fuel. So I'm flashing him frantically in front to tell him that we're pulling over to get some fuel. He didn't see us and carried on driving. We went into the garage and you had red, green and blue nozzles. The car was a petrol. So what colour would you expect to go to? Green?
Petrol,
Yeah.
red, unleaded green, diesel blue.
Yeah.
I would blue.
Black in Australia is black.
Yeah,
Diesel.
well,
In
Green
the
is a
US,
pet-
it's blue.
green is diesel.
Yeah, green is diesel here too.
Yeah. It's mad.
Mate, that's cool.
Luckily, the little Japanese man came out because I was already struggling at that point anyway. And they have a different system over there where you actually say unless you press in some other buttons, you have to say, I want 10 litres, 20 litres, 30 litres, and you press the button and it gives you 10 litres. And of course, I had no signal on the phone where we were. And on each time that you were using the card, you would get an authorization number come through on your phone that you had to say yes to. And
Yeah.
of course, phone wouldn't do it, so I didn't know how to bypass that. But we got through it.
And will
And it was-
the petrol be that cheap like in Japan and here UK?
Yeah, it was like 70p a litre.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts. And the infrastructure over in Japan was absolutely amazing because on one of the places we went, we must have driven for a good half an hour to 45 minutes, all in the mountains, away from everywhere. And we got in there. Oh, it was can't say it now, Ufuchi that we went to. Yeah. And we got there and that was right out in the middle of nowhere. And by the time we got there must have been a good 6 to 8 inches of snow. The front of the car was actually pushing the snow. And as you look behind, you could see where the snow had been flattened off by the vehicle. And I said, back in the UK, this will be left until such time as it thaws out and that's it. Off you go.
Mate, 2 inches of fucking snow on our country comes to a standstill.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus
Definitely.
Christ.
But we were in there for probably about half an hour, 45 minutes. And when we came out, the road was clear. And literally a snowplow had gone down through and cleared it all up. It was gone.
So, did you pick up some nice Achiba at Fuji?
No, we did get some. They were on this side that we got from there.
That's really nice.
Yeah, there was a good mix in there. They are known for their Nisai. And we again on that one, we were lucky because Ryan had been saying we're going to struggle if we go there. We're going to struggle to actually be able to get a box together because they've been gone through. And we turned up there and it was like, holy shit, all of the tanks were absolutely stocked up with fish and they just moved in some more.
Oh, fucking awesome.
So it just shows that, you can have one day to the next is so different over there.
Mate.
But it was good. It definitely a trip of a lifetime. It won't be a trip of a lifetime. It'll be more to follow, but
Yeah.
But I think
Well-
there's a misconception over there or over here what the actual trip is like and how the process of buying fish are, because I had it on 2 or 3 occasions where my customers would go, I love that fish there. Can I get it? And I'm like, nah, because there's not enough there that I need to buy to make up the box to ship that one fish back.
Yeah.
And that happened a few times. Yeah, I think I would do. Definitely. It certainly made the trip. The people that we had was such a mixed match of people. We were all different, even down to our ponds, but it made it. Definitely enjoyed taking them out there, but it complicated it more for myself because I'm trying to keep them happy, trying to do my job, trying to do the filming for obviously your channel.
Yeah.
It was just relentless. But yeah, I think I would do. I think definitely taking the customers over there was a good thing to do. But I think you need to be more clear, or I need to be more clear what is expected, when you go over there to make sure you don't have any issues with, what they're looking to do, how they're going to do it.
How not to get kicked out of karaoke club.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I had to slip that one in.
Yeah, no, it was good. And that side of things, the food and the people, as Gaz has said on his, was, they are a lovely bunch of people over there, but it's a totally different way of life over there to what it is over here in the UK.
Yeah.
Matt,
It's a completely different mindset over there, though, isn't it?
Yeah, they are. Everything is different, just politeness. We were we were laughing because when we were on the bullet train, the ticket man in one case, and then on the way back, it was a lady. When they walk on into the carriage, they walk in, and the first thing that they do is, and then they walk down to the far end, turn around, and bow again, and then carry on.
Yeah.
And nobody was doing it to them, but it was just, even on one occasion, I think he was actually going out. He had walked past me and turned around, and just in the corner of my eye, everybody else is facing the opposite direction to him, so nobody can see him. And they drop their head and bow even there. It's just amazing. And the one word I keep saying, and even saying it back here, is "Oi." No, it was smart. Yeah, definitely.
Matt's
It was
asking,
good.
what was the shower room thing all about with Rick? No, I can tell you now, that's just Rick being Rick.
Yeah, that was just Rick. He didn't like it in the first place. When we went into the hotel, we wanted to get out of there because it was just way too posh, and it was way too posh. It just, by this time, of course, we've been out there. We're coming back. We all stunk, and we're staying in this. And people were walking around there, just going from their room, going down to get a drink, and they were all almost in tuxedos and evening dresses and everything else. And there's us,
Jeans, t-shirt.
yeah, combats, boots, drinking a fish. It was a good day. It was definitely.
So, funniest highlight for you while you were out there, other than the shower?
I was going to say the shower. There was just loads. Like you've seen on the video beforehand, on most of them, me and Rick had been talking about different bits and pieces, and we were just laughing our heads off. And my guts are hurting, my ribs are hurting, and of course, in fact, on the last one, you see that Rick is sat behind me. So you're going to have to sit there because every time I turn and look at your face, all I want to do is laugh. It was just awesome. Yeah, he's a good friend and a nightmare to be out with, but for a week of it.
I can imagine. I truly can. So, going to the other side of the spectrum, what was your biggest disappointment out there?
Aoki, probably, because it was the one place I wanted to go, and I wanted to bring back some of theirs. And you go in there, and like I said earlier on, that was a farm that was just a definite no. You were not buying any fish. And we knew it as soon as we got in there, and you could tell because of where they take you. Ryan was discussing his other business things going on as well with him, but you just knew that you weren't going to buy any fish. Then we went into a section where it must have been over 1,000 fish had just been sold to an American chap, and of course that was just a pain in the butt because that was probably 1,000 fish that we would have had the opportunity to slip through. But they just had, that when you look at the category in there that they're holding over to put out back into mud ponds, the quality of the fish were just to die for. I don't know whether it's on the video, but I almost sat on one of the ponds glaring at him going, just why can't I?
Yeah. We discussed before you went out there that one of the places you wanted to go was Aoki because you wanted the wacky and the wonderful that comes with him as well.
Yeah.
So I was gutted you weren't able to buy any fish, that's for sure.
No, and it was double gutting, obviously, to be able to actually see them and not take any.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's one of those things. There will
So-
come, obviously, he's got some there. And like Ryan said, it will happen that we will get some, but not on my trip then. And I'll just have to take what comes when they come available.
So, which farm impressed you the most?
Odacan. Odacan, the quality of the fish there, the whole setup. There's been some serious money spent over there. And yeah, definitely Odacan. I think everybody said that.
And what farm would you put at the lower end of the scale? If Odacan was the one you liked most, which one was you least impressed with?
You couldn't actually name one of them, Vince. It was, you know, yes, you could say about the filtration, but the quality of the fish were better. When you go to another one and the farm itself was really high class and the fish maybe not. But again, they all specialize in their own varieties. So you can't even compare one farm against the other to what you like and what you don't like, because that's just the way they are over there. You know,
Yeah.
Aoki, you know, you look at all of their range, you didn't see anybody else on the whole trip that touched anywhere near them. So, yeah, I don't think there was. Odacan stood out because of the facility, but I think every single farm that we went to impressed us with the quality of the fish, even the setup in some cases. But yeah, I couldn't put a negative against anybody.
It's nice. And it's like Rick stated quite a few times on the videos, it was literally like being back on the farm in a lot of places.
Yeah, it was. There was nothing sophisticated on any of their filtration whatsoever. And, you know, some of it, like Rick recognised, it was 20 years ago when he was there last. It was exactly the same as that. You know, the flow core filtration, you know, the old plastic tubing stuff. You know, you saw countless filtration systems with that.
Yeah. And like you say, you saw filter systems of every type and description while you were out there, didn't you? Including just big crepes, ratchet strapped to a
It
what
was.
looked like
Yeah.
wood.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Yeah.
are you ever going to get there, Jens? Is it one thing that you'd like to do?
Me?
Yeah, would you like to go and visit Japan and do a koi farm trip?
Oh, sure. I would love to. The only drama is I can't buy any. I will never be able to import them.
That's
I only can look at them and just get disappointed not to buy them.
yeah, because you have to buy from breeders that have actually bred koi in the country, haven't you?
Yes, that's right. So only here in Western Australia or from New South Wales on the other side of the country, I could buy. I can't. Nothing from overseas can come in here. Yeah.
You just like smuggle them down your trousers or something when you come back?
Pardon?
I said, could you just smuggle them down your trousers when you come back?
Well, you could try. It has happened before. That's how we got the KHV virus in here, or in New South Wales, because someone smuggled them in. But yeah, it will be very hard.
I thought the joke was that the person smuggling the koi got KHV.
It will be.
Yeah, it's a lot tougher for you out there, isn't it?
Yes. Very tough. But I like to go there one day. Nonetheless.
One thing I've noticed on your video, because I caught up on your videos earlier on today.
Yes.
It's been the only plus I've not been able to go to the farm for a week. I've been able to start catching up on all the videos I've missed. But I've noticed you've been having a lot of problems with pumps at the moment. And
yes,
my question is, why on your skimmer, did you not put the canister filter before the pump and pre-filter the pump with the canister?
That's a good question. Don't know. I never thought about that. The skimmer was supposed to be only running over the brush filter chamber, the multi-bay.
Yep.
And then later on, I changed it to get less flow through the brushes and run the little box filter with a separate pump as well to stop it so the food is not getting siphoned off. When I feed, I can turn the pump off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't had pump failures for a long time. It's just the last couple weeks that has happened.
Because it's also hard to get certain pieces of equipment over there, isn't it? Very much like Canada and
Yes.
and America.
Yes, it is pretty hard. We can get a lot of the Oasa products and a few others over here, but it's very pricey, and you have to search for them. There are a couple pond dealers here that have them, but yeah, it's pretty hard. Even the Chinese pumps are getting pretty hard now to get by. The replacement I got is only one trader on eBay who still has these kind of pumps from Jabal.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. I've got 2 Jabal pumps actually, and one's been going for about 10 years now, and then I could get another one and it will last 2 years. But that's the dice that you roll when you're buying a slightly cheaper product.
That's right. Yes. Now you compare. I paid for this pump now just under $300, where the pricier ones you're looking at a couple grand. So yeah, that's a killer. So you have to weigh up what you're prepared to pay and what the quality. I mean, the Jabal pumps are not bad for the price. They're excellent, I have to say. I can't fault them.
Oh yeah, they are good for the price point without a shadow of a doubt. Especially if you're working on a budget, which is one of the reasons why I use them, and I give advice to people if they can't afford an Evolution Aqua one, which isn't as bulletproof as what people make out, because I know people that have gone through a lot of EA pumps, haven't you, Matt? I can see him sat there fucking grinning.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, they've got the new pump due to come out any moment now, so it'll be interesting to see how the new ones perform.
Because you've moved to the Aqua Forte ones now, haven't you?
Yeah, but then even with that, so we just put in 5 new ones. They were all running for 24 hours, and one of them doesn't work. There's a numbers game, I'm sure it is, because I obviously, scattered around here, we've probably got 20 odd pumps.
Yes.
You're always going to have something or another going down.
Yeah.
But the amount of times I've replaced them in the last 3 years, probably every single pump was changed twice until I changed over to the Aqua 40 ones, and we'll see how they get on.
Yeah. And everything running really nice in the tunnel when you got back? Everything running all right?
Yeah, the tunnel behaved itself. That one had no issues. We had one of the drum filters, but a piece of timber that I forgot to remove and fallen over and knocked off one of the pipes. So I had a desperate phone call from my assistant manager, my wife, and between us, we got it all sorted, and she did a marvellous job for us. But yeah.
See, you should be like me. Tidy up after yourself and things like that won't happen. But then you get cursed at by Rick because he can't find shit.
You can't find anything. Yeah, you go into the shed too, because where it's closest to the polytunnel now, everything I've been using on the polytunnel is dumped on the floor in now, and it's just a mess. But now I'm back from Japan. I've got to finish off the polytunnel and get it all ready, get the water right, get the salt levels up, get the heat up. And then I'll be able to start packing my-
Shouldn't be that much left to do on it, mate.
No, it's not. It's only literally turn the heaters on and put in a bit of salt.
All right,
And
just
just the norm. And then it'll be all ready to go.
Gaz is asking, how many boxes do you have coming back? And have you got room for them all?
No. Definitely not.
No, you haven't got room for them all, or no,
No.
you haven't got your boxes coming back.
Yeah, well, I think there was 20 boxes, 19, 20 boxes coming back. I haven't got room. I haven't got room. There will be room eventually, but it wasn't planned to have that many.
How many of them boxes are the lesser spotted ones?
None. Yeah, there's a couple boxes in there that he split. Goski, he's having
Yeah.
half of them. And then he's obviously got some other ones that he's chosen from the ones we've picked. And I think he's got 2 as carry ones that are staying out there until October.
How is he smuggling them?
Side tie?
You said he's smuggling them?
No. Smuggling them. He might be smuggling them into the farm, but he's not smuggling them. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the Goshki.
Yeah, they are phenomenal.
So the Tancho show, was that one of the fish that were bought for the BKKS, or was that a
No.
personal for one of the customers?
Yeah, no, that's one of my customers or friends that we built the pond for last year. It's a 75,000 litre pond, fully enclosed, all heated, 5 feet deep. And he's going in there, and there was no way that the customer, unfortunately, would take it to the show. I did tell him, let's go, let's take it. And he's like,
Yep.
nah. Nah, it just ain't going to go there.
So was that the most expensive fish on the trip?
Yeah, by quite a
And
bit.
did it take a lot of negotiating?
No, because again, the farmer set the price of what it was going to go for. It was really the negotiation between me and the customer of what we were going to do. And yeah, I think he'd already set his mind to it. He'd already seen the video. He'd already liked it. When he saw it in the flesh, his first words were, "Holy crap, I didn't realize it was that big." We walked off to the side, had a few little words, and yeah, shook my hand and job done. And yeah, you can't wait.
Oh, mate, what a fish.
Yeah, it is what a fish.
And what breeder did that come from?
I was just looking at Yoshino.
Yoshino. And the next question is, you started off at the start of the show talking about cutting. Was that a natural spot?
As far as you can tell, but I would say not. You know, certainly the age of the fish, Sanzai, anything that was done at the early stages, like the ones we saw that were being done were Tosai, and they were only 20, 25 cm. And that's where they were doing. But the work that the guy did was just unbelievable, and it really was. And truthfully, I think that it certainly wasn't painful to the fish.
Yeah.
It's not correct. Definitely, I'm not one to say that, you know, all the fish should be cut, but it was nowhere near the level that you think, you know, cutting sounds really harsh, you know, but it wasn't like that. And I said, you know, when you flick a scale, when you take holding up a fish, in most of the cases, it was as easy as that. You know, you had a kahaku that had one little tiny patch that was a bit of benny coming through on it that ruined the fish, and he would literally just gone, finished.
So has it changed your view on cutfish?
Still don't think it should be done because it's not the natural fish. You're still doing something to, but is it the same as a horse where you clip a horse for showing? it's much a shame.
Yes and no.
In what way?
It's the same, I think. I'd say it's the same.
Yeah, if it's an odd scale, I think I can agree. But when they're actually cutting a pattern into Deutschfish, it's just
No, that's a different level.
Where the whole body is just cut lines everywhere, all over the place. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm with you.
That's a different level. When it is literally cutting, then I think that's a different level, and I don't think it should be done. But when it is the one odd scale that is ruining a fish, possibly not. But then we're only saying ruining a fish, and we're only ruining the fish for showing. So, yeah, it's all I can say is it's not as bad as what my initial thoughts impression of cutting was.
yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. So,
How many of the fish are cut? I think it'll be a lot higher probably than what anybody ever knows.
so it's quite natural then in Japan to put fish in sedate and then take a finger or a blade to them.
I think if the potential for the fish is going to change, then yeah, just one of those things.
We'll ask other people. What are your thoughts on cutting fish? Yes.
I actually haven't seen it. I honestly don't know really what they're doing. I have to watch a video about it to be.
Yeah, I wanted to record it, but they wouldn't let me. But yeah, you can understand why.
I'm sure. So I didn't even know till now that such things happen.
Yeah. So
No, but the patterns don't. The patterns stay.
That not necessarily.
Like it depends on how deep the cut is. But it stays as 60-70% of the time it stays, and then also there's like rounds. They do rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it has been known that cut fish have thrown penny back where they were cut.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
Afternoon, Atsumi Naoki over in Japan. He says you can change the pattern, but not the body and the quality, which is true.
But you can also change the body when they've been cut, and especially around the mouth or the cheek area, you can see it. So in the early stages, because you're taking an indent or it is an indent into the fish. There was one there that we saw that, and this was on a different farm, that you could actually see the indent, and it'd been done the previous year, and he'd been out in the mud ponds and come back in a state where you could still see, the flesh hadn't built up, possibly because it'd been too deep. I don't know. But if you think of it on the
Not
business,
legal in Japan, but not legal here, Alan Tate says. So it's not illegal to do it in Japan, but to do it over here, it's not legal. So you get caught doing over it, you're fucking nicked, basically.
well, you'd be done for cruelty.
Yeah. Because the animal laws are completely different, aren't they, over here? Yeah, I do appreciate that, Gaz. You are right. It's not all done by cutting, but it's still cosmetic, isn't it? You're doing cosmetic surgery on something that can't say yes or no. Mick Riley says they use layers now too. What do you mean on that one?
lasers. I reckon he's trying to say lasers.
Yeah.
Ah, that makes it more strange. Yeah, definitely. So what are you building or what are you working on there, Raphael? Changing the subject, working away while we're chatting away.
I am installing my new filter,
Oh, what new filter?
Tempest.
Wait, are you gonna have a third Tempest going?
Yeah.
But this one's going to be homemade, is it?
It's going after the EasyPod.
Uh-huh.
So I wanna see if I can get more flow, because when you have the EasyPod, you cannot go more than 3,000 and 3,500 liters. You start getting fine. So
No, don't be dark.
that's in my case. So what I'm going to do is just trying to see if I can get it around 5,000 liters. Or 5,000.
Yeah, because what you'll find at the moment, Raphael, is because you've got a retro bottom drain that you're gravity feeding to your easy pump. Have you got a pump in between that, or is the pump at the end behind the easy pod?
No, what do you mean? Sorry.
So you're coming from your retro bottom drain out your pod. Does that then go straight into your easy pod?
Oh yeah, it is. It's a 4 inches retro bottom drain. It reduced it to 3 inches.
Yeah.
So
And then,
the pump is after the retro bottom drain.
so how come you're only
after the easy pod?
Yeah, I mean, your easy pod, you should be able to take at least 5,500 liters an hour without having.
It does, but it's still getting fine. So I am trying to see if I can get it that Tempest and then to take the fine out.
So on your skimmer, you've got your 2 Tempests, haven't you?
Yes, I do. The 3 Tempest is going to the backing shower and the bulk filter.
Yeah. So how much flow are you putting through the Tempests?
I'm doing normally around 7,000 liters per hour. Normally.
See, what you need to do is you need to switch that round, because your skimmer is pulling more than your bottom drain, which means instead of water being pulled down to here, you've got more chance of it being pulled straight across to here, because this pull is greater than this pull. Can you see what I mean?
All right.
So if you was to speed up your bottom drain and slow down your skimmer, you should find that your Tempests and that will work a lot better.
Well, let's see. I will change that. So even I changed my inlets, the outlets in my pond. So I put the outlets up, and the outlets down there. I take it out.
Yep, you've now got them going over the top.
Yeah, because I did the mistake. I put it on the bottom, so I just put it on the top.
Yeah. But yeah, give that a try. Speed your easy pod up to about 5,000.
I'm going to give you that. Are you saying so? Let me see if I get it right. You saying to lower the speed of the skimmer, and then, all right, I will give it a try.
Well, on my main pond, my main pump is running at 65%, and my skimmer pump is running at 30%.
30%. All right.
So, but that's usually the case, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, but that will change during the summer months.
Yeah. I do speed things up during the summer months as well, but then I speed the bottom drain up as well as the skimmer.
And your pond's still crystal clear?
Yeah, well, it would be if my UV worked. I was going to call you later, but now you bring it up. Yes, you can definitely tell that the old new pond syndrome is starting to kick in because I'm going green.
Yeah.
And I wired up my UV to me plug that you give me, plugged it in, nothing, nada.
And was it working beforehand?
I don't know. You told me it was working.
Oh, what, the blue UV, the actual filtry one?
Yeah,
Where have you put that to then?
in the box where it's supposed to go.
I thought you were taking it out and you were using that for something else.
No, I didn't use that in the end. I teed off of the return, didn't I? Because you said to leave it in place because you might need it. So I
Oh,
said, okay.
you
I
actually
actually-
listened.
You
You
fucking,
listened to
I
it.
did. Yeah, good job you're sitting down, isn't it? So yes, I did listen. I left it in place. I wired it up to that beautiful 2-pin plug that you gave me, plugged it in, and nada.
Did the control box light up?
I got a very, very faint green light, and that's it.
And did you press the reset button?
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
I reckon that's a no.
No. I did press the reset button.
How many seconds did you hold it for?
I don't know. Just push the reset button.
You had to push and hold the reset button for 5 seconds.
All right, I'll have a look when I've finished.
Okay.
And Simon said, UV doesn't determine green water, in my opinion, as I've had my UV run in for well over a month and the water is mint. Still 20 degrees. Yeah, but mine's a brand new pond, Simondo. Yeah. Not all of the media that went into that pond was mature. It had dried and died out. So, and the fact that my pond is only sitting at between 5.6 and 6.2 degrees.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's no bacteria living in that temperature, no?
So again,
Is it not good bacteria living in that temperatures?
well, yeah, and this is the thing, and I've always been led to believe that yes, your biobacteria in your filter will die back over the winter, but it won't die off completely. Which is why when spring comes, you feed gently and moderately to then build that bacteria back up. Unless you're doing something seriously stupid like putting a major dose of chloramine T or something into your pond over the winter, then you should still have some kind of biological filtration going on at that temp.
Mm.
Like I said, in the winter, everyone goes, oh, well, I turn my backy shower off and this, that, and the other. And, you know, my attitude is why? It chills the water. Well, insulate it. Because you turn that backy shower off over the winter. By the time spring comes and you turn it back on, you're starting with a brand new filter again.
Yeah.
Why?
The only thing I turn it off is the UV light on winter. That's it.
And that is one of the only things I do advise to turn off if it's not needed.
Hmm.
No, Simon, I don't run Big Blues. So Simon's saying, yeah, but the phosphate and phosphorus in your water must be high coming from the mains. No, I don't run the Big Blue. I do top up straight from the tap, just like Rick does down at the farm and has done for 30 odd years.
You know, something bringing up the Big Blue I've been thinking about is this next year. Started thinking more about the pH and things in my pond, ways to lower that. I've seen people run different kinds of like buffers and things like that using dosing pumps. Do y'all have much experience working with those sorts of things?
How have I got trickle towels and not a backy shower, Gaz? And Gary's saying, Jens, shouldn't you be in bed? Bless him. And
My wife just
Gary.
went to bed. I should be, yes.
Gary, are you still beating the granddaughter in the old YouTube subscriber stakes? And if you don't know me, Gary Coy 625 celebrated his year in YouTube yesterday. And it all started with a competition with his granddaughter to see how many subscribers they could get. And he's still beating her.
Hey, Vince, back to
Yes.
your tap water. You don't dechlorinate at all?
Nope.
Oh, you will be the first
Nope.
one. You will be the first one I hear that on YouTube. Because everyone else has big blues and all these dechlorinator chemicals.
Nope. Straight from the tap. Always have done. And my pH always sits at roughly around 7.2.
So you're not worried about chlorine in the water?
So you trickle in?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Hmm.
I haven't set up my auto top up yet, but I would have an automatic top up running, but I won't do trickle in, trickle out. No.
Why is that? Why are you not trickling in, trickling out?
I don't see the point personally.
So you're doing a weekly change, or what are you doing?
No, I just at the moment I just top up what's taken out
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
because I'm on
The drum.
Gary says, "Don't mention it, Vince. She's not happy." Go on, Gary, son. But no, I've had a lot of backlash for it as well. And don't get me wrong, if your water coming into your property is absolute dog shit, then yes, 3-stage dechlorinator or a Big Blue. But again, Big Blues only work effectively for a certain period of time, and then they track. They're not going through the whole of the
Yeah, you need to change everything again.
yeah, and then you have to either disconnect it, roll it about so you mix everything up, flush it out, and then run it again for a little bit longer. But also, those Big Blues, to fill one of them with activated carbon and bone, it's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes. For me, it will be a fortune. Here in Australia, it will be a fortune.
Yeah. I spent £65 to, oh no, 65, £55 to fill it up the carbon of my Baby Blue.
and how big's that?
No, Baby Blue is the smaller one, the smaller
Yeah,
version.
how tall is that?
I don't know. Let me see. Might be like 50, 60 cm. Is I think it's almost 5 liters of carbon.
Wow.
And how much does it cost to replace that?
To replace?
Yeah, the carbon.
Oh, it's £55.
That is it, £55.
Yeah, it is £55 for the.
Oh, that's small.
It is it's not 5 liters of carbon. I think it's like 4 or 3 liters and a half or something like that. Because I bought the bag, the only bag I can buy it was 5 liters, so I got a little bit less over.
Sure.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
No. What she's meaning is, Philip, is busy saying, now I'm running the drum. Am I thinking about an auto top up? I am, and I will be putting an auto top up in. And it's nothing to do with having good water or not. It is literally just replacing the water that gets flushed to waste every time the drum goes on a cleaning rotation. But at the moment, I'm I'm letting it run for a couple of days, and then I'm just topping the pond back up at the moment. But I will be sorting out an auto top up for it, but it won't be a trickle in, trickle out. Tom's Coin Gardens.
I do the
Tom
same
said-
thing.
Sorry, mate.
Top up when I clean my filter. I top up. I just only top up.
Yep.
I'm not doing water change.
And Rick, hang on, let me go back up. So you've got Tom's Coin Garden. I use 2 large Oasis disc dechlorinators fitted vertically. One has bone char and the other has carbon. Now, I don't mind if you tell me to piss off, Tom, but how much does it cost you to replace them, and how often do you replace them? And for the natural bog filter, what speed are you pushing water through it, and what plants have you got in it, Wiccan? Yeah, sodium thiosulfate is far cheaper for dechlorinating, but a lot of the big blues aren't just dechlorinating, are they? They're trying to strip out things like copper and other bits and pieces. What are your thoughts on big blues and water use? Do you use a dechlorinator on your ponds?
I don't. I have tiny little carbon filter, but I just degas it in a separate tank now.
So you actually fill up a tank, gas it off, and then use that for your top ups?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I do it. But I probably could go away and do it like you, because I did it. I measured it a couple of weeks ago. Our tap water is actually the chlorine is very low in there. If I would just fill it in, by the time it goes around the pond, it's probably all degassed anyway.
Yeah. So Matt, do you dechlorinate?
No, mine comes straight out the ground, mate.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a completely different set of challenges in itself.
Yeah, it is. Luckily, because of the way that in our whole area here, where it comes out the borehole, it's tested on a monthly period. And we get all the results coming from it. And yeah, the water has never changed. It's more or less a duplicate every single month of what the water's doing. Even it doesn't matter what time of the year it is coming up from great depths and gone through the same mineral content all the way down and comes out exactly the same each time. And then on the customers, we either supply them, the EA ones or the OASI dechlorinators.
Yep.
And then I always tell them about how you can replace the carbon a lot cheaper than replacing the whole unit, which is cutting it in half, chucking the carbon out and putting it in. And that only costs about £15 to replace the carbon inside one of those.
Tom saying, I run trickle in, trickle out, and it's £55 for 5 kilos of carbon, £65 for 5 kilos of bone char. Replaced when I get readings in the total chlorine tester, usually around 2 years. So that's not too bad then.
Mm.
In that respect. Brand Family Core Adventures is saying, my 3-stage ran out, so I decided to use detox. Works a treat. I didn't change that much. Water just what the filter uses. Someone's coming in. Filter uses clean. Anyone else out there using this pond detox? Because it just seems like it.
I know Joe's using it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I know Joe Mitchell's water coming from source is absolute dog shit. It is because he's had so many tests done on it and that. It is absolute dog shit, and the hassle he's gone through, I'm glad I don't have that. You know, I'm just lucky, I suppose. Simon says,
Hey guys, I got ahead, but
"Oh, sorry, okay, dokie, dude. I'll send you a message later."
okay. Hey, thanks for having me. Catch you guys later.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks, bro.
Bye.
We use a natural riverbed plants and switch cane like bamboo lilies. Mate, you want some flag irises and stuff like that in there. They grow like stink. Tom saying yes. Envirex. What is Envirex when it's at home? Have you heard of that one, Matt?
No. Right.
Gav said, stop using ST after I ran foul of it. Neutralizing treatment. Prefer to gas off now. Treated with detox for the first time today. See if I notice and keep me updated, bud. So yeah, there we go. I'm great to have my Matt back. I'll give you a call later. Lovely long time.
Lovely long time, mate.
So guys and girls, I'm going to wrap this up at an hour and 10 minutes. I'd like to say a massive thank you for Ty, who's just left us. A wicked thank you to Jens from Mustang Koi Australia down below me. And if you haven't subscribed to his channel, go across, guys. Give him a like, subscribe. Tell him I sent you. Sid's at the studio. My man Matt from Howie Koi Dorset. Keep an eye on his website. There's going to be a lot of new fish coming soon. Some bargains. And it looks like we are going to be doing a koi arrival unboxing video when Matt's first proper, what's
Nice.
the word I'm looking for? Oh shit, brain's gone. Proper hand-picked import. Hand-picked by him. So yeah, we've got to capture that one when it happens. As always, guys and girls, I've been Twisted Koi. You lot out there, you know you're great, and we will see you again soon. Take it easy, guys. Have a good Sunday.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.